Slightly favours GamerLegion.
Did you catch what GamerLegion actually first banned? I didn't notice it because
I think it was Dust 2.
I've seen in the past few vetoes from Bait, they've actually been floating Overpass against teams who don't play it. So I think they did the same thing here again. I don't think they expected GamerLegion at all to pick Overpass. They thought they could get a step ahead in the veto, and GamerLegion have picked the map. And Trav, this is no opportunity to play games and try to gamble a little bit. So GamerLegion, we have to expect that they've got something up their sleeve. They're going to start on the T side, and this all-important RMR match is live.
I can't wait to see how this one goes. What a huge opportunity for both these teams already. GamerLegion say, we're going to hold W. We want to start off on the best foot, but right now they're holding W into the USPs, and all the kills are coming in for Bait Esports. Going well so far for Amster and Wrinkle. Look at the damage done to IEM. He's got no chance anymore to have much impact in this pistol round. Great hold from Bait. There are 3 players here to defend. I think they're going to make it happen with the bomb dropped in front of him as well.
Yeah, it should be an elementary finish off to the round here for the side of Bait. Just shutting down the aggression straight through Monster Tunnel means they pretty much win the round off the bat there with the first 2 kills that come through from Amster and Wrinkle. Great defense out of Bait. I mean, GamerLegion, nothing extravagant in that pistol round, so it's not like they've been grinding out any crazy strats on their T-side pistol. That pistol round was more akin of a team who don't play the map at all, just 5 through Monster with the flash over the top. I know I've seen that strat in my matchmaking games before, but works out really well for Bait.
Absolutely. Great start for them, and of course CT start as well. And it does, as you say, I mean, the veto, we'll probably be talking about it a lot if GamerLegion do fall on their pick, but yeah, very, very interesting to pick into what is classed as a weakness, one that Bait just do not play. Of course, they in the veto as it stands, Bait realise that they have to probably ban away GamerLegion's strength. They do that in getting rid of Mirage, and GamerLegion sort of think the same and say, okay, we'll remove your dust too. So rather than removing a permaban they may usually have, they say, okay, we're going to remove your strength instead. And that makes this series all the more fascinating.
Yeah, it absolutely does. We're just going forth into some uncharted territory here. All of us together, the 2 teams, the casters, and everybody watching as well. Who on earth knows what we're in store for? I mean, the thing about Overpass is it's generally a map that you grind quite hard because of how much depth there is to both the T side and the CT side. You need quite a lot of experience to have your protocols, your rotations, your different setups as well in place. So this is just going to be a wild one, man. And I'm all for it. Let me just say that. I'm so keen to have the cat thrown amongst the pigeons in a game of this magnitude.
Yeah, absolutely. Stickers is on the line, and that changes every single career and every single player's life in Counter-Strike, that's for sure. Rush Out Monster for GamerLegion. Nikita sort of stuck in water with the MP9, but they're playing pretty defensive. They might give up a plant, but already... Oh, okay, I was going to say, he will swing wide and get taken down by the Tech-9. So there's the plant that will be given up. Isaac spamming that bridge smoke to try and do something. Look how far acoR got behind the play there. Thankfully for Bait Esports, he was stopped by Alex, and he'll get a second as well. IEM still gets one more headshot, and a second as well. That's a disgusting one. And now Shui could have a chance to help out too in this scenario. Look at the health on Alex. 3 kills for him. At least 25 health, and there we go. Shui's ripped his head off, and Alex is now last alive. Gets the first, and he's actually got a defuse kit to play this one. Do you hold it on 25 HP? I think you are. Shui's baiting it out. He sees it, has to go for it. And he's played it to perfection. Shui wins out the force for GamerLegion. What a way to do it. What an amazing clutch.
Yeah, Shui could not have actually played that situation any better. What a huge couple kills coming at the hands of IEM and Shui's Desert Eagle. That was a 2 versus 4 in the post plant, Trav. Once Alex gets this kill, I thought it was a done deal. But then IEM just goes huge. I mean, he had to force the fights as well. He couldn't afford to just sit back and play the post plant. He actually had to get a couple kills there and be proactive. So that was really well done. And that's a rough round for Bait to drop.
Yeah, that's a huge round already. Make a big impact throughout the rest of the half, of course. Gives GamerLegion 4 rifles to work with into the following round. Can you imagine the nerves going into this game? I mean, usually these are the sort of matches we'd cast in maybe in a Swiss stage for an online tournament. This is on LAN for a place at the major. It's a whole different scenario for both these 2 teams.
You could argue that this is the biggest game of a bunch of these players' career. I'm pretty sure the only player who's actually played at a major here is acoR, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't even know if he did under the Mouse banner or the Mad Lions team.
Yeah, it's a long time ago now. I know that I think acoR's had I think Kios's organization, Simon, had stickers. Was that a major, I believe? I'm pretty sure he was on the Simon roster for when they made the major. I think it might have been Berlin, from memory. Someone in chat can correct me on that one if I'm wrong. I did check it earlier, but
Okay.
it's very hard to keep the memory banks perfect on those sort of ones, on those niche stats. But already in this round, it's a bit of a problem for GamerLegion. They're getting caught on their own by again, and the forced by battles will continue. Amster, UMP picked up now after his CZ kill. acoR spotted as he crosses through Monster, and now the UMP can play close up as well. It has to be Shuey and acoR to carry GamerLegion through to a victory here. 25 seconds to get the bomb planted, and I'm not sure there's going to be much chance available for them, especially it's Alex. Oh, he had a chance from heaven, but that's the FAMAS for you. Bomb's going to go down, but there'll be a boost towards short. Thankfully, the limit's planted safe, and look where acoR's positioned himself. That is genius. But now, unfortunately for him, he is last alive, and he goes through the smoke to try and take advantage of a reload. Not going to happen, and even though the plant comes in, bait hits straight back.
That was so rough though for Shuey, because after he plants the bomb, he just tries to peek and see what's going on towards acoR's position, and acoR's the one that the CT players are actually spamming at through the smoke, and it's actually Shuey who catches the bullets on the other end. So very unfortunate for him on low HP, wasn't able to sustain that. There was another 4 versus 2, this time Bait are able to make it work. All started off with that aggression there towards Monster, and just making moves with their forced up guns, so they answer back with a round win of their own. Bit of ping pong going on right now.
Indeed. And now, of course, it's Bait's chance to get the rifles back in return. I was right. It was Berlin where Kios had his performance with Simon. I'm glad I remembered that one. It's in there somewhere. It always is. Captain Kurtka going aggressive toward long, realizing that they're going to be on probably a reforce buy, of course, as the force buy battles do commence in this situation. No one managing to win 2 rounds in a row as of yet. And he'll look for something, but we'll see nothing, so we'll fall back off of it again. Tech9s, 1 Galil. They won with something similar already. Gonna have to do it again, though. They would have felt confident, wouldn't they, after that previous round, but maybe not anymore.
Yeah, we haven't actually seen much depth to the T side yet from GamerLegion. It's going to be another push through the monster tunnel with util raining in right now. Sure, smokes and flashes are able to make their way through, but the kills are favoring Bait right now. Finally, isak gets the kill back, but Alex wants to force the issue, and he's pretty much going to seal the deal here on the round. Only acoR left, and he's been cut off by a smoke grenade, so don't think he's going to be able to accomplish much in this round. Bait Esports locking it down here on the CT side, and for the first time on the map, or even in the series, the team is going to string a couple rounds together.
That's perfect, and that will mean GamerLegion have to go into that eco coming in now. That is the way the meta is at the moment. Alex with a fantastic start at the moment as well. Alex 666. 7 kills on the board already, and that's a great defense from Amster as well. He's been particularly impressive, of course, as we say. We've both covered him quite a lot in his Esports Club Kyiv days. Moved on to this Bait roster, and now he's got a wonderful opportunity ahead of him. Wrinkle is incredibly talented, of course, once he gets that AWP available. I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out up against acoR, because already they're not going to need to get it just yet, because they still have AKs and M4s to fire their way through these pistols. And that grenade does so much damage to Shuey and Kios. Goodness gracious me. So this round should be pretty comfortable.
Going back to that AWP battle, acoR's been in outrageous form in the past 3 months. I mean, he's just putting up ridiculous numbers, and back to the old Mad Lions days, he's actually putting up career high numbers right now. He's got like a 1.29 rating or something in the past 3 months, so he is looking really good. As you say, Wrinkle, a star in his own right, but he's got a tough battle up on his hands here in this matchup. And Overpass is generally quite an AWP heavy map as well, so we should see some fun duels going on between the two of them.
Absolutely, and it must be hard just thinking about acoR as well, right? Like, it might take him a little bit to get warmed up into this one, because he has such a ridiculous performance to put himself back on the map again, of course, after his time in Mad Lions, and a bit of a smaller stint as well in the sort of the Mouse era. Didn't really work out for him as well as Mad Lions did. And yeah, it might take him a little bit of time to warm up into this one after such a great performance against G2, that map of Inferno, which decided the series. Absolutely ridiculous. Kios.
Gonna have the first full gun round here.
Yeah, true.
In the 6th round of the map.
Yeah, and Bait have kept so much money in the bank as well. They're not even going to go to that AWP yet until they need to. Keep Wrinkle on the AK until he loses it, basically. So that might give acoR a chance to win a few duels. Never know.
GamerLegion just implementing a default here, trying to secure themselves a bit of map control, create a few options for themselves. They've been able to get Kios in towards water as well. Strong position to gain early on the round. Couple boosts going on. And it is going to be a player spotted out towards long. So information for bait, but probably more successful for GamerLegion, dispelling the boost and forcing the players back.
Yeah, this is basically what Overpass is all about, right? Getting some control toward the front of bathrooms and maybe even going for a pick toward the A site, and that's what they're doing now. And this is how you get the AWP into the action. That's a little boost for acoR above the banana smoke. Captain acoR is on that angle, but it'll be tough for him to get away with that, but he picks it exactly the right time, and he even gets a second as well. What a brilliant hole, and that's going to bait them into Wrinkle as well, and look at the damage he's done to the final two players as well. Goodness gracious me. 3 kills for Captain acoR, and there we go. They're just not expecting Wrinkle to still be there. It's a perfect clean-up. 5 kills, goes to 2 players on the bait roster, and this is looking very clean early on.
Yeah, perfect bait and switch there coming through from both Captain acoR and Wrinkle. They're actually the 2 strongest players on the side of bait as well, and they mop up all 5 frags between the 2 of them in that first gun round. Wasn't much to get excited about at all there from GamerLegion. I mean, acoR gets stepped on by the rifle, taken down, and essentially it's 3 individual frags there for Captain acoR. Was able to find 3 1 versus 1s in quick succession, and he ends up dominating the side of GamerLegion. So, great first gun round for the side of bait, and I wonder if GamerLegion... I mean, I doubt they're starting to sweat, but if there were any players on the team who didn't agree with the Overpass pick in the back of their minds,
Yeah.
They might be starting to ask a few questions here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely on board with that. It's only 5-1, but I would say that, especially if it gets a little bit out of hand for bait on the CT side, then GamerLegion are going to be sweating. I said beforehand, didn't we? I mean, we both were of the opinion that GamerLegion are the slight favourites in this game, but anything can happen in pressure situations. Probably only about 10% favourites for me. Something like 60-40. And
yeah,
look at this. More pistols to take down. Wrinkle, though, oh my goodness, he is very, very stuck. And very blind at the same time as well, so he's going to get caught. But thankfully, Captain acoR is still here, and he gets 2, and he comes with on the flank. And the grenades are working out beautifully. So they only lose the 1 player, and they should be able to recover that AWP. Did they? They didn't. Okay.
Ooh, okay. Bit unfortunate, but more than enough money to buy it up. Interesting stat line we just got from our production is if GamerLegion do make it to the major, as they're the favorites to here in this matchup, but haven't started off great, it'll be the first time that 2 Romanians are competing in the same major. Of course, Lanx made it earlier with Sprout. That was yesterday, after beating Bait, in fact. And of course, you got IEM here from GamerLegion, who would be the second.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I had a quick look at this earlier, actually. So, production has read my mind on that one. Laurenex was the first ever Romanian to actually make it of all time. So, the classic London bus analogy, Hayes, of if IEM makes it, we're going to have 2 in one go. And if they're going to make that happen, they're going to have more entries like this. Shui going hard for this one, and he gets both kills. The entry toward the A bomb site, that's beautiful. And Kios still showing presence towards Short B as well, makes it a bit of an issue for bait. Bomb can go down on A, and that's a perfect way to try and get a T side kicked into gear.
Yeah, I love that they don't go into a bit of a shell after losing a few rounds. They actually just put pedal to the metal and turn up the gas even more. And that's what catches Bait completely off guard. Shui leads from the front, gets those opening frags, and with that, the job is pretty much done. I mean, at this point, it's just about whether Nikita can find further damage or not. Going to be hanging around here because they've got a lot of extra cash in the bank. He wants to try and find a few frags. GamerLegion don't have the luxury of keeping all these guns in play. But probably just going to die to the bomb explosion here, and I think he's accepted his fate. Does he? Yeah. Okay, it's planted default, so he might be
back
fine.
Here, I think he does like... Yeah, I was going to say, we're very close. I've most certainly saved here before myself. So, yeah, I forget exactly how much damage it took off, and in the end he got it just right. Maybe asking his teammates, do I die here? Classic communication. But, yeah, excellent round from GamerLegion. Shui taking matters into his own hands and 2 entries toward A. Perfect for him. Yes, Romanian Counter-Strike is most certainly on the map, of course. A lot of these players having come through from the old days. I mean, I know in Zello's case, for example, on that Nexus team, of course, he had a good time on Ecstatic, did Zello. Laurenex came from that region as well. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. What a story it would be for that country. Walk toward long. in the following round for GamerLegion, changing up the pace a little bit, not even flashing toward long. And they actually might have found a bit of an opening pretty quickly here. Captain Kurtka's pretty happy to be near bathrooms, and they've really stomped their way all the way through, but I don't think anyone's heard it. Oh my goodness. Hayes, what a call this is going to prove to be. Look at Wrinkle, he's not considering it whatsoever.
Yeah. This is all by design. Look at the attention that both Kios and Isak are taking towards mid right now with all the utility, but I don't think that they've spotted Wrinkle out. Oh, there we go. He'll expose himself. That's a massive frag. Now it's on Captain Coca. Could get the lineup. No, just the one kill there. Unfortunately, didn't expect the second player. And that could just be the round done and dusted. I don't even know if Bait should consider retaking this. I mean, they've got money to go for it, but 3 versus 4, lost another player. That should seal the deal.
That is actually pretty ridiculous how that turns out. Shui gets dinked by the M4 and it puts him to 1 HP. If that kill comes through, I reckon that Bait get instantly traded anyway, but still, it would have possibly made it a 3v3 for a second and given Amster and Nikita a chance to give that one, and I thought of perhaps going for it, but not to be. So they'll fall away, as you so rightly say. It is a correct decision. And GamerLegion make their way up to 3. Doesn't matter if you have a slow start, if you can grind out these T sides and keep whittling away at the CT economy, which of course Nikita has almost 12 grand before he buys into this next round. And eventually, you're going to come up trumps. So far, though, that was a brilliant call from GamerLegion to rush up long like that as a group 2.
I couldn't agree with you more, and especially doing it earlier on in the half. Now for these next 6 rounds, Bait are going to have that in the back of their heads. They've just conditioned them now. They won't be able to commit to that 2-man setup in towards bathrooms. Either they have to rotate an extra player up, or somebody's going to have to fall back to watch long. And that means that there's going to be more options available elsewhere on the map. And I back Shui to keep it, try to stay 1 step ahead of the game at all times. What a development it's been from him. I started casting him when I started casting International Counter-Strike back in the acoR days, playing alongside the likes of Tao, Bialy, Shane, Mono, I think it was as well. And then he went into Mouse NXT, where obviously just rocketed up in his career. And now he finds himself where he's not just an up-and-coming player anymore. Now he's the real deal, man.
Exactly, and I feel sort of, in terms of actually both these two teams, I almost feel personally invested, to be honest, because we both have covered a lot of GamerLegion as that grenade flies in. Double nades, perfect. The classic Astralis double nades. Unfortunately, Astralis are no longer in the RMR and are very much eliminated. But, yeah, that's an idea that most certainly was taken from those famous players who, I'm going to say, might have to look at some of these players in the future if they're to rebuild. You never know. Kios with a lovely entry toward B, and look how low Amster is. No chance. And Shiri will find him as well. Wrinkle and Captain Kirk are probably looking to save. He tries to go for a duel, but Wrinkle is still going to get out of there pretty quickly. 5 players could stay alive here for GamerLegion, and that's going to be a huge boon to their economy.
Oh, big miss shot there. Trav, unfortunately, Bait have only got 3 kills in these past 3 rounds, including this one as well.
Yeah.
So they've kind of gone off the boil, and it's a bit of a concern because sure, they look good at the start of the map, but that's when things were just going fine and dandy. They didn't have to actually grind out any of those round wins with hardcore clutches or difficult situations. They were just getting the opener kills. Wrinkle and Captain Kirker did most of the heavy lifting, Alex as well. Now, the going is starting to get a bit more tough. How many more gears do they have to shift into here on the CT side is the question. Yeah.
Very true. Now this buy, of course, for Bait, it's a bit of a, a half one. You can see 5,250 and 4,750 invested by Amster and Nikita just to go for 2 hero AKs with a bit of Kevlar. They had a lot of money, so they're trying to even it out, and that's a good idea. This could even still work for them. Nikita holding an aggressive angle and gets one and can fall away, and Amster finds his kill as well. GamerLegion central toward B, and they're walking into a bit of a stack right now.
That should be a kill. There we go. Frag back. Another one towards lowers. I mean, keep in mind, this is an eco coming through from the side of Bait. So the fact that they've been able to get this into a 3 versus 3 is fantastic. Wrinkle in a big position here. Perfect crosshair placement. Just absolutely destroys IEM, and Kios has fallen as well. This is becoming a disaster here for GamerLegion. About to drop the ball, and sure, I mean, a few guns to play with, but for the most part, an eco. That's acoR left to clutch. He's only got 2 kills on the map so far. Needs 3 to win the round.
Yeah. He's trying to shift his way up bathrooms to make as little noise as possible and even chuck a smoke onto the site to maybe give them an inkling that they're going for a plant toward A. But he's trying to play the long game here, is acoR. Unfortunately for him, he's walking into a player and connector, which obviously will be holding back his progress, and he'll make some sound cues dropping down Con as well. I think he's aware that Alex could be here. A little right click flash as we go for a push, but Alex picks before it even pops. And that's the perfect way for Bait to get their 7th. The 2 M4s brought up were very successful in the end.
Yeah. Great result there for Bait to get themselves back to winning ways. Bringing into that 3-round win streak from GamerLegion.
Yep.
GamerLegion, the org, also never featured at a major, by the way. So
Yes.
even in terms of the organization, this is their biggest matchup and opportunity.
We've had some legendary players, of course, as well in the past, if you remember. They had the little Existence and Scream duo for a little while. That's a throwback, isn't it? And even that couldn't get much progress, surprisingly. With obviously a bit of a Swedish core, of course, at that time as well. And as I was saying, like, I do feel a little bit personally invested, having watched Bait beat Heat in the Open qualifier, or just my personal stream, and seeing GamerLegion, of course, as well, do so well after seeing them in a couple of these Tier 2 tournaments. And oh my goodness, in the following round, unfortunately for GamerLegion, Bait say no. 3 players try to make their way through Monster, and the bomb is dropped at their feet. Dashing their way through, not the way to go on that occasion. They walk into what is a crossfire of basically 3 players, and Amster even makes it 3 himself. Disgusting.
Yeah, I think the only round GamerLegion have won towards the B bomb site was that 2 versus 4, courtesy of Shui and Kiosk, was it? Or IEM. Either way,
I think it was Kiosk,
they haven't had much success towards that B bomb site at all throughout the map. They've just been emphatically shut down every time they've tried to go through the monster tunnel. Amster's farmed them, so maybe something to keep in the back of their minds. They do have money in the back of their pockets as well.
IEM gets spooked by the player from short pipe near Monster, and the ball is being got in Monster as well, of course, on the exit of it makes it impossible for him to do any damage in that situation. So thankfully for GamerLegion, their previous rounds were so successful. They've got plenty of money to work with in this following round, but that was an absolute wipeout. And look at this, having Amster, even though he's full blind on the back of the railing at Monster, doesn't matter, gets plenty of damage, plenty of kills. Bait are looking very good. Nikita 8-2, only died twice so far into the game.
Living up to the name of his organization.
Yeah, maybe.
No, jokes aside, do you know who owns Bait?
I don't.
It's Dendy, the legendary Counter-Strike player. He used to play
of
for
course,
Navi,
never mind. Now I know. No wonder that people were saying Dendy in chat yesterday. Now I remembered it.
Dendy boss.
You've reminded me.
He is, arguably the most well-known Dota player of all time.
Yes, I remember now. I was told this 2 weeks ago. Yep.
Used to be the mid player for Navi back in the day.
Yeah.
Was a crazy individual to watch. Very fun. I remember TI3 was probably where I fell in love with him. Anyway, from Dota to Counter-Strike, it is going to be, his organization competing for a spot at the major.
Pretty cool, yeah. And I gotta say, I do respect the Bait logo too. It's a pretty tasty one. And I gotta say, that's a pretty tasty headshot. Amster gets completely blindsided in round 13 by Kiosk, working his way up short. And getting short control and going for picks like that is a great way of getting some progress on the T side. But I think maybe they might give up on B this time around, even though they got that pick in that bomb site. Captain Kurt goes down to 17 HP, and I think they know that he's an A player, so if they realise that they've tagged him, then going toward A would be the right call.
This is not only does that make it the right call, obviously we've got all the vision and all the information, but he's the only player on that side of the map right now. Alex actually rotated down, though. It looks like he's going to second guess himself. Start to pivot his way back up towards that top side.
Yeah.
Is going to be an execute coming through from GamerLegion, lining up the utility. Do they commit? I think they're going to, Trav.
Yeah, and it would be 45 seconds to go. They've got plenty of time to do it. Problem is, of course, now Bait are starting to guess exactly what their plan is, but there are 2 very low HP players on the A bomb site. IEM and Isaac working their way in toward long, the 2 GamerLegion legends over a year and a half on this team, and now, they've called the bluff. Double pump. They've called the bluff. It's perfect. GamerLegion are just going to walk into Captain Kurtko, and he should be found pretty easily. Look at that flashbang. Absolutely spot on. And the final 3 remaining Bait players will be off to save. That's the way to do it if you're GamerLegion. Perfect bit of fakery there.
I mean, the rounds that they've actually had a little bit of tactical depth, GamerLegion have looked so much better than the rounds they've just tried to brute force their way into the B bomb site. That was just the beautiful finesse coming through from GamerLegion, throwing all that util with 45 seconds left on the clock. And it actually would have been really rough for them if they decided to try and execute with that util as well, because I think there were 3 players on the A sites at that point from Bait. And that's probably why they were so convinced that they had to rotate back, because they stacked up all the numbers on that bomb site. GamerLegion go radio silent after the first wave of util. They pivot towards long, and they catch Bait completely off guard. 1 kill, round over.
Yeah, beautiful. Really beautiful. I've got to say, you're absolutely spot on with that call, because there's been, even though they only have 5 T rounds so far, I say only, that 5 is pretty good, I would say, on the first map of the day for when you're playing in a pressure environment and a pressure situation. But yeah, I mean, they've already made 2 perfect calls at the right time. I've got to be said, and that might, you never know, might be down to Big Brain Shuey.
It is the new Giga Chat, Trav.
Exactly. Don't give me any of this hooksy bollocks.
Yeah.
Shuey's my man.
Shuey's the only Giga Chat I identify with, man. Do see them going for the boost up. Nobody on offer, though, in a matter of time before they disassemble. The stack doesn't look like it's going to be costing them too much. There is a push coming through from Wrinkle towards long, and IEM's not directly spotting for this, so could wreak a bit of havoc here, could the Ukrainian sniper.
Yeah, this is a great line to have. Has full sight line and not yet peaked. Oh, but he's just going to miss his shot. That's a big frag from IEM. He moves the AWP from the equation. Wrinkle's had a decent half so far, but he hasn't really had many hugely impactful kills. Sure, he's 9-6, but a couple of them are on exits and stuff like that. But Captain Kurtka, he's certainly been impactful. And he'll get another double kill. Thankfully traded by Isak. And Amster still lurking around. What's his timing going to be like? Or lots of damage done, but he was always going to get traded there by IM. So we found ourselves in a 2v2. Alex creeping up. We get good timing here. But what a peak that is. Oh my goodness. Get IM peaked. Nikita left 1v2.
You only get those sorts of peaks on land, man. That's a beautiful land peak coming through there from IM. Able to make it work. GamerLegion have had to trade their way forward. It's been a very tough round for them so far. Amster should probably never have gotten that kill from lowers, but the fact that he did put a lot of pressure on the T side. However, they've now got the perfect opportunity to waltz into the vacant A bomb site. Absolutely
right. I mean, Nikita's gambling on the fact that they're going to say, okay, we can go toward B as a duo and win out this round pretty fine, but GamerLegion had 2 choices, of course. There were 2 bomb sites, and they're going to go toward A instead. Oh, that's a very tight line. Maybe Nikita, I think he's planted just behind that angle, if I'm not mistaken. I think 4 bank. So I thought for a second the X-ray may be a little bit deceiving. So to see where it is, and yes, it is 4 bank. So Nikita has a chance at this. He's making his way up very silently, and he's got utility. Smoke, incendiary, flashbang as well. And he's going to catch IM, not looking the right way. But does he have any idea where acoR is coming from? Right-click smoke to catch off the edge of bank, and so much damage done. And now the incendiary can hold acoR away. If he can get on the bomb, that's going to lock Nikita. He's going to lock acoR out. Nikita should have this one. 3, 2, 1. Glock coming in. I say a Glock. It's a P250. Doesn't matter. GamerLegion win the round anyway.
That's a travesty. I think that if he actually sticks to the defuse initially, he might just complete it in time, because after he drops the molly, I think he tapped the defuse.
Yeah.
He didn't actually stick it immediately. Obviously wouldn't have known how much damage he dealt to acoR. Close round there from Bait. They were constantly playing from behind in terms of the numbers. Even a 1v2 clutch for Nikita, and he comes so damn close, but it's GamerLegion who have reduced the deficit to just 2 rounds. And this is their 3rd out of their 4th tactical timeouts on the map, so using a lot of them on this T side. Suppose that does make sense.
Yeah, true. I think if you're going to use it on your tactical side. That was a great attempt from Nikita, but as you say, I mean, I'm just looking at the replay now on the stream on my second monitor, and it was very close. If he went for it straight away, maybe the last second he needed would have been enough to grab that one. But as it is, GamerLegion now have a chance to make an even half out of this when they were, what, 6-1 behind, I think?
Exactly, yes, they were. And again, the rounds that they've just had some tactical depth have looked far more compelling and convincing compared to the rounds where they've gone for the brute force. They've outclassed Bait. Bait haven't been able to keep up with the rounds where there's all these extra tidbits coming through from GamerLegion. They're actually able to bypass their way through the mollies without using any smoke grenades to extinguish them. They've done that a few times throughout the half. Oh no, Wrinkle unscopes at the most untimely moment, and now they're going to start to circumvent him. He needs Captain Kurtka to come up clutch. And that's a beautiful peek. What a wonderful no-scope that is from Wrinkle as well. I have no idea how Bait don't even lose a single player in that setup, but it works out perfectly.
Oh, they get away with that one, don't they? It's going to be a 9-6 unless chaos can pull off the impossible. 2 for Wrinkle, 2 for Captain Kurtka, and he's going to go with that picked up AWP to get a third. Great half from Bait, it has to be said, but I think GamerLegion are going to be the happier of the two, getting 6 rounds on their T side. Great start to this all-important BO3. We'll see how Overpass concludes after the break.
Hey Future Pros, let's take a look at a nice little A exec you can throw on the A side of Overpass. For this exec you will need 2 Future Pros, 2 smokes, 2 mollies and a couple of flashes. Future Pro number 1, you'll be throwing the bank smoke along with a molly for the truck. To throw your smoke, get into this back corner. Aim into the bricks and just to the right of this little brick. Then jump throw the smoke. For the molly, aim along the bottom of this wall in line with the shadow. Run forward, then walking jump throw the molly just as you get over the shadow. Then throw a basic flash behind your team to help them out. Future Pro number 2. You'll be throwing the stairs smoke along with a molly that lands next to the dice box. To throw the smoke, get in line with the right side of this beam and crouch down. Find the gap in the white spot and aim at this point and crouching jump throw the smoke. For your molly, aim just to the right of this brick and crouching jump throw also. Lastly, you'll throw the initial flash, which will help your team take space into the site. This is a nice execute and will make it hard for the CTs to play behind cover, also leading you to get the most out of your flashes.
After a 6-1 deficit, I'm pretty sure GamerLegion are going to be the happier of the two going into their CT half. It is their map pick, of course, and it's been a great game to watch so far. Thoroughly enjoying this one with so much on the line for both rosters. We might be here for a long time. It's going to be an exciting one. GamerLegion already probably in the pound seats on Overpass. My name is Travis, alongside me is Hayes. Let's get underway in the second half.
And Bait winning this pistol round here would certainly set them in good stead on their T side, but if they drop it, things could get very ugly very quickly. They do have quite a bit of utility here, a couple flashes, a smoke and a molly as well. There's the P250 for Wrinkle, he has got armor, so the raid boss, a bit of an upgrade there for him to work with. There's a Julie's, couple Julies in play. acoR steps out, spots the player, but just has his head absolutely ripped off.
Captain Kurtka was fantastic on the CT side, and Nikita goes super aggressive to take down IEM and Connector, but they might think it's only one player. Look at Isak, 2 kills in the back, he's helped out by Shui. That was so clean as well. What a recovery, and look where the bomb is compared to the... Oh my goodness. Look where the bomb is. Look where everyone on the Bait side is. They're all over the map. One's going through B, one's going down bank to heaven, and chaos... will destroy Wrinkle, and all of a sudden Alex is going to get caught, but now he has a 1v1 to play out. The madness descends into this 1v1. Alex versus isak. Two very common names on planet Earth, but someone's going to have to be the better player in this scenario. isak goes for the peak, but it's Alex to take it, and that could be absolutely huge. You can almost feel the celebrations right now as he pauses to high-five his team. Humongous pistol round to win.
What an instrumental round there from Alex as well. Coming up through the back lines there, he heard the rotations from acoR, chases him down, eventually gets the kill and completes the 1v2 clutch. I just love how calm he was, not just rushing to try and recover the bomb, holding long, taking his time, very patient in his pursuit. Gets the kill towards long and wins a vital pistol round there for bait.
That's big. And GamerLegion not choosing to force buy either. I think they realise that if they force with even scouts and 5.7s and the like, there's a very good chance they could find themselves 12-6 behind before they even get a buy. So I really do prefer this decision to go for the full eco and get the M4s in the third round of the half.
Could be a formality here, Trav. Looking at the numbers, acoR with only 3 kills on the map so far, I was hyping him up. He's been the big player for GamerLegion so far, the star. Himself and IEM. acoR has been good as well. isak with only 5 frags, he got a couple of those in the previous pistol. You compare that to the numbers on the side of bait. Now obviously they just came from the CT side, but everybody's on double digits.
Exactly.
Very even kill distribution. Everybody's positive in their kill death ratio as well, so well-rounded team performance here from bait as they continue to carry their way forward here on their opponent's map pick. And remember guys, neither of these teams have any history on Overpass in the past 3 months. No officials played on HLTV, so we have no idea what to expect.
We don't. I mean, and that's the discussion we had about the veto, wasn't it? I mean, they, rather than choosing to pick what is commonly their permabans, they've gone into banning the strengths. Bait got rid of Mirage, which is one that GamerLegion have, you know, spooked FaZe on, that's for certain already in this RMR. And when I say spooked, I mean heavily spooked. Heart attack levels of spook. And, yeah, they've already, of course, GamerLegion banning out Dust too. So, yeah, it does kind of make sense. But Overpass is a bit unknown in that way, of course, as well, between these two teams. But you never know. If they win it, it will be, whoever wins it, we'll call it a stroke of genius, perhaps.
Yeah, well, I mean, bait can't really claim that. They can just say they were prepared all along, and they were happy with the result. As for GamerLegion, it certainly would be a stroke of brilliance if they make it work. To bring out a map pick like this in such a high octane matchup with so much on the line is bold, to say the least.
Yeah, and talking of Overpass, 3 of the 4 streams currently on for the RMR on ESL are all on Overpass. B, C, and D.
Yeah, the only one that isn't, I think, is the matchup between Falcons and Heat, which is actually just concluded. Falcons won.
Damn. What a game. What a win as well. I predicted Heat that they would finally make it. Unfortunately, not to be. Falcons get a chance in the 2-2 matchup tomorrow. Captain Kutka all the way toward long. Big moment because they're doing exactly what GamerLegion did, but this time, acoR doesn't need the AWP. Silenced M4, gets him 3 kills on the lineup. That is glorious, and that completely saves the round. He will get taken out, but he's done his job. It's all down to the rotations coming in.
Amster's been able to get a little bit further forward here than what GamerLegion might anticipate. Bomb plant will be secured at the bare minimum. There's going to be a flank from isak as well, so I think these players get towards the CT stairs. Probably want to look to try and wait for that flank to come through. Yells gets a little bit ahead of himself. At least Chewy will find the trade, and it's only the low HP Alex left. But look at the move coming through, pivoting himself here all the way towards bathrooms. I don't think isak has heard the footsteps either. No, they're actually starting to make their way towards long to clear it. No kits either. They should start to realize here that there's something going on, right? They don't see him towards long. They should know that there's some sort of tomfoolery, as Alex now going to look to try and find the kill on the diffuser. 5 seconds in, he swings himself out, but Shui's got the angle, and with that, the frag.
Yeah, Shui's got his back, and that's, I've got to say, that round is all acoR. The fact that what they do is almost a carbon copy of what GamerLegion burnt them with. They say, well, if you can do it, we can do it too. Unfortunately, they walk into acoR, and his M4 gets 3 kills on a pretty big off angle as well, expecting to get peaked from that position, and there we go. That entry from Captain Kutka was just glorious, but acoR, in the end, maybe you could say that bait don't have a player coming up bathrooms quick enough in that scenario to trade acoR quicker, especially when he's not looking at that angle whatsoever, but realistically, you have to praise acoR for getting those 3 huge couple of kills to grab.
Going to be another investment here from both of the teams. Neither of them with the full buy and not a full set of players for GamerLegion either. acoR decides to get aggressive with his M4, and while he does get the dink off, the AK trumps the M4 every day of the week. Alex going to be trading out so he can give the rifle to his team. He should get a Tech 9 out of this though from Nikita. Where is he right now? Okay, he's going back towards T-spawn. He's going to get that gun right. And no one wants to play with a Glock, Trav.
There we go.
It's like a proverb in Counter-Strike. Okay, he's got a gun.
Yeah.
All's well.
I've seen the Glocks do some disgusting things, but not necessarily on gun rounds. So, yeah, it's good for him to recover that. Of course, that's a really important opening pick to take. Question is, do GamerLegion want to look for information off the back of that? Usually 5v4, you tend to want to push aggressively. Try and get some information,
yeah.
And look where chaos is. MP9, but Nikita guesses it. And I gotta say, Nikita's guesswork on possible flanks coming in has been pretty great so far. On both CT and T side as well. And now, I would say for GamerLegion, stack a bomb site, try it, doesn't work, save.
And Nikita, not only does he get that kill on the big flank, he's even going for the fake now as well. He will be taken down by IEM, but he's done his job. Only one player on the side of the, say, bomb site right now. isak is going to have to go absolutely above and beyond. Spots a second player coming through from long, but that's actually a really cool smoke. Ends up meaning that isak has to push himself out into the open to actually find any favorable fights. Or any fights at all, should I say. Nothing favorable about that one. Does look like GamerLegion want to have a crack at the retake. Util reigns in. They've got kits. But good post-plant positions taken up here by Bait.
Yeah, how are they going to do this? Because they've got the fact they've got 2 kits. Maybe they can go with a bit of a body block setup and just try your best. Unfortunately, a Molotov's going to be thrown in, but actually Alex will give up his life to throw that Molotov, and it's not working out right now, and they all trade their way in. And I think that Molotov was even a little bit too shallow as well. Goodness me, what a recovery from GamerLegion, and that is a humongous one to take with IM tagged down to 15 HP.
My god, IM and Shui, what on earth is that retake coming through from them? Against all odds in the 2v3, rough post-plant positions to try and fight up against as well. Not like they had any extra util to aid their cause. No smoke on the bomb or anything like that. I love the smoke that they're throwing to isak at the back of Optimus. I must say, that's a variation I haven't seen much from T-sides when they execute into the A-bomb site. Normally you try and molly that position, but a smoke worked out nicely.
It did, yeah. I mean, I was going to have a pretty big discussion about how well isak did, to be honest, even though he only got 1 kill. But realistically, it's the others on the team that managed to claw that round back somehow from that 2v3. In the end, I think it was, of course, a 3v5 overall as well, and that's going to force Bait down to Tech 9s, and they're going to burst into the B-bomb site with flashbangs, but isak's doing a great job right now, helped out by Shui, and in fact it's isak to get all 4 of them. chaos eventually peaks to get the 5th and final kill, but it's a quad for isak. Lots of money, with 5 players left alive, of course, as well. This is a really good sign.
Yeah, the lack of head armor there was brutal for Bait because isak gets a really easy couple kills initially. And as soon as he finds those first 2 frags, the round is pretty much over. And we can see those kills raining in. GamerLegion get their 9th.
Just thinking about that previous round again as well, it was a bit of an unfortunate oversight for Bait to give up a life solely to throw the Molotov when they still had 2 kits. I feel like guns out is the best option in every single scenario there, because you don't know what you're peeking into, right? So that's just a bit of nerves maybe, trying to secure around without actually having to take a gunfight, you know? Trying to rely on utility when you don't want to rely on yourself.
True. We do see Captain Kirk finding the opening pick in the round.
That was close. So is that.
Damage comes through. Yeah, we could see the kill out of Amster though. So much damage done across the board. 3 players not looking very healthy right now for Bait, but they still have that man advantage in play. How do they navigate their way through the round is the question.
It's one of those situations where maybe even though they're 4v5, we saw GamerLegion win a 3v5 when Bait were healthy. Now it's a 4v5 and 3 of them are the walking wounded. Nikita 5 HP, Amster 21, Captain Kurtka 48, and Shui's going to look for some information. Why not at this stage? Thing is, of course, with these tight angles, it can easily get a kill, and actually Shui's going to take the HP, the full health player down, and that could be a problem. isak's now pushing forward in his own as well, finds Nikita, and he pre-fires Winkle as well. MP9, wow. W key for isak, that's the way to do it. Bomb dropped in bathrooms, and he destroys the dreams of Bait in this round.
Wow. I mean, that's a serious return on his investment, Trav, if you think about it. He's got 7 kills with that MP9. That's $4,200 he farmed
Quick
up with that
maths.
SMG. And that's the type of investment I'm looking for, man. That's a good return.
Yes, indeed.
Great round for GamerLegion. That's a big gun round for them to win. Reduce the deficit to just 1. Now they're going up against the Eco. Obviously, max round loss bonus in play for Bait, so they can afford a few extra bells and whistles. But things looking a bit more precarious here for the Ukrainian side.
The whistle's broken and the bells are dull, I'm afraid to say. They've got only one set of Kevlar, which makes this round, unless they get a couple of 1-digs through a smoke, all the more impossible, and even GamerLegion will immediately avoid the possibility of a nade boost as well. Not even looking to boost towards short on this occasion.
Yeah, I think that's acoR's first kill with an AWP on this map, by the way.
True, that is true.
We do see them executing here into the B bomb side. Easy cleanup for Kiel. Just the 1 frag in the round for Wrinkle. GamerLegion starting to soar here on the CT side as they level up the scoreline for the first time since the 2nd round of the map, where they won that force buy after losing the pistol.
11-all. We're back even again.
11-all.
11's seems to be a popular number recently. I think my last few games have been had a couple of maps at 11-all as well.
Okay. Yeah, repetitive.
I think the Fours Astralis game was both 11-all at one point, if I'm not mistaken, from memory. In the end, that was, of course, 16-14 times 2 for Fours.
I do want to point out, isak is 16 and 15 right now. I think he started the half with 3 kills to his name.
That's a very good point. Yes.
So he has just been flourishing here on the CT side.
This is kind of what you expected. I mean, 6 rounds on T side was probably, you know, I said it was Bait won't be too unhappy with the half, but I did mention that GamerLegion would have been the happier of the 2 for sure, and I think they might be seeing that right now. How did Bait get any progress back into this T side? Of course, everyone knows the basics. If you're a professional player, played thousands of hours for a reason, but maybe GamerLegion feeling a bit more comfortable, wanting to pick into the weakness, wanting to pick into the 0 maps played, of course, of Bait.
Yes, exactly. And let's keep in mind, Trav, that the CT side of a map you don't play frequently is definitely going to be easier than the T side, which isn't a great sign right now for Bait. How much depth do they have on the T side is the question. Wrinkle might not be expecting the player close up in the cubby. acoR's been able to take the bait. Oh my god. Wow, that's a huge kill out of the Danish sniper. And immediately Bait are down into the 5v3. More pressure continues to come through. Kios doesn't get checked because of the attention taken towards short. Excuse me. Yeah, that was isak who took the attention, actually.
Yes.
So, good little setup there.
Yeah, and IEM.
Wow.
Captain Kutka gets taken out in front of his very eyes, leaving Alex last alive. And yeah, Kios, another great little bait setup for him. He's been a really good player for this team, I've got to say. When he was picked up, of course, I mean, it was probably a bit heartbreaking for him. The fact that he got dropped from Falcons when they did their little rebuild, and they kept Python. I was a person, of the opinion that they should have kept Kios over Python. But right now, as it stands, they both have the possibility to still make the major. Python with Falcons, and Kios with his new team of GamerLegion. So wouldn't that be something? But there's a long way to go for that.
I remember when we were casting some Falcons games, you were mentioning that it was a decision you were a bit skeptical of. So my homie Trav isn't just trying to claim the W's. No, you're right. You're on the money. You called that. You said it, and maybe proving to be true here. As we do see an eco round to the side of Bait, they've certainly gone ice cold here on Overpass. IEM
there we go.
Uses a lot more ammo than he would have liked to get that second kill. Oh, okay. Bait making this one interesting right now. Captain Coca could continue to twist the dagger if he can find a frag.
It's possible. Shuri is only 41 points of health. And the AK has been recovered onto Nikita as well, and he's boosted himself up toward long. That's beautiful. And now the round's very much on. 2v2, a whole minute to play with for Bait as well, to make a call on what they want to do. Nikita's found a smoke too. Makes it even more scary for GamerLegion. If they want to keep this streak going, this is such an important round to take. Losing to pistols ruins the momentum. Thankfully, they are splitting up, which I honestly, in this situation, I do believe is the better call, because if you leave an AK in a really good afterplant position, I would say perhaps would be a bit difficult to find. So splitting 1 for 1 on this time around, I think is the correct call. Door will be played with. Smoke toward heaven, and they're going to go back toward A and toward acoR.
Who's in the name? He has got the AWP on the angle, worried about both long and the push from toilets. Now he's going to hear the util rating and goes for the shotgun opening, but oh my god, he just gets absolutely destroyed on the wide swing there from Captain acoR. isak not being discreet in his approach on the retake either. Full gas, no brakes, charging his way forward. Utility not going to be on the mark either. And the AWP is being forced back by the jiggle peak. But Nikita's in such a strong position here as well, Trav. This is really tough for isak right now. And he's going to get caught off by the angle. Bait have won another half buy here on Overpass. That's the second half buy they've been able to win. And that's such a devastating round for GamerLegion to lose.
Yeah, and I've got to say, that was just incredibly well thought out by Bait. I mean, just mid-round for Nikita to look for that peak on top of the flower bed on long. And to find that and make it a 2v2, then just take their time. I mean, it's very basic, right? He has his one smoke and says, okay, I can go down con, I can throw a smoke toward heaven, and we can play with the door a couple of times and maybe fake it out. And that did keep them separated, as I mentioned. The CT defense of 2, and acoR trying to take matters into his own hands by pushing aggressive, gets punished for it.
Probably wanted to try and get a little bit ahead of the game and peek them while they're coming out of bathrooms or pushing up from banana, but just gets caught in the most awful position. So GamerLegion's little streak comes to an end. Scores leveled up here once again.
It's only a...
They do have still some spare cash in the bank, though.
Yeah, this sort of situation, though, it can always be a flash in the pan, right, for a T side, so they need to find a way to continue that. And as you say, with GamerLegion still having plenty of cash from their previous successes, it's very important for them to bounce right back here.
Immediately they do reel things in a little bit, though. No IM towards lowers. Okay, never mind. They're not reeling anything in. Outright aggression through the monster tunnel. Nikita gets one damage to the smoke. Yes, he's got the spray. Huge kills coming through from Nikita after GamerLegion successfully emerge out of monster, get the kill, but then they lose it all.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a good thing to change up on the CT side, right? Go aggressive through the monster smoke with a flash and try and trade at least. And this time they didn't even trade. They got an entry. What they didn't realize is that Nikita was still so close at the top of the stairs and gets both kills. And that was superb from him. And now 3v4. They've won plenty of disadvantageous situations in this half so far, but they're going to need to find a way to make it another one.
And it's a great call coming through from Bait right now as they make their way towards long here with numbers. I don't actually think IM spotted any of them on the jump across there. Although, as I say that, having a look at the minimap, it looks like players are starting to shift themselves around. acoR beginning to make his way up. It's all about the timing. If he gets there in time, I don't think he will. Bait on the brink of executing into the site. Big first kill there from IM, but he's been traded out straight afterwards.
Yeah, and the M4 is so powerful that it's very easy to get 2 kills, but I tell you what, acoR might still make something out of this round. Burns Captain acoR, he commits to the bomb plot, he's happy to go down for the cause. And now Wrinkle and Amster holding off against this one. Shuey has a smoke. He has a smoke for the bomb, and acoR can hold the line if he really wants to. Wrinkle's not even swung as of yet either to look for information. acoR looking close, can't see anything, and in comes that utility. Molly for the front of bathrooms as well. They're rushing through the Molotov, but Shuey's holding the bomb, and he's got it. Knife's going to come in, but Shuey says no, and even spams the ground as if to say, how dare you? 13-12.
And he gets the AWP as well. That's crazy. I mean, the perfect round for GamerLegion. That could not have gone better. What a retake there from both the Captain Shuey and acoR. I mean, the first kill from the Molly was great from acoR, as you say. The Planter didn't mind going down there. This was the heroics from Nikita to get the advantage for Bait, but they couldn't convert that sick double kill. Crazy retake there. I thought once acoR missed that shot towards long, the job was done, but Shuey just sticks the defuse in the smoke and comes up clutch.
Absolutely huge. What could that prove to be the difference at the end of this half? Bait say, okay, that's a crazy round. You might not be recovered from that one mentally just yet. We're going to rush toward B and try and put some pressure, but there are so many players in toward the B bum site. isak gets 2. Shuey takes Captain acoR. And it's a 2v4 with Nikita very stuck toward barrels. He's creeping up and might actually be able to find isak because he's very low HP. But there's a boost towards CT to worry about as well. I think he can see the helmet there, but he's not going to be looking at that. He needs to look at isak, and it doesn't even matter. isak takes him. IM takes Wrinkle. Great hold.
Massive hold coming through there from GamerLegion. Looked pretty dicey at one point there when Bait were initially able to make their way through Monster. Normally, that's when things get quite scary, right? If the T's get through Monster successfully, because they can start to overwhelm the defense on the B bomb site. But GamerLegion still hold their nerve, they rotate accordingly, and they're able to get a quick couple kills there to shut things down. 14-12, bait start to flounder here now on the map of Overpass.
Yep. Thankfully, of course, there's plenty of money still available for both teams, so it keeps it exciting! And talking of exciting, acoR says, hello, I'm here to play, and I'm showing some form for my game against G2, a collateral in connector, and Isaac's going to stop Alex coming out, but Monster as well. It's perfect. GamerLegion is showing up, and they're on the edge of 15-12.
And look at acoR, just continues his pursuit here in the 5 versus 2. He's getting all the audio cues here for his team as well, knows exactly what's going on, gets a free frag on Captain acoR, even spots out Wrinkle. And he's feeling it, man. He is making plays right now. IEM even wants the knife to add insult to injury, Trav. Why are you doing this, IEM? There's children watching this broadcast, for God's sake. You don't need the money, but you're going to backstab him anyway.
Aye. That round is full of what we call big ball maneuvers. acoR, collateral in connector, pushes down, picks up the AK, doesn't even keep the AWP. He goes to the rifle to say, okay, I need to be maneuverable on a quick flank like this, and he makes it look absolutely disgusting. Look at this. Glorious. And the knife just to rub salt in the wound.
GamerLegion have pitched up in a big way, Trav. They've pitched up in a really big way. And they're going to be taking a lot of head steam and momentum into the second map of the series as well, which will be Nuke if they carry on and able to finish it off right here, right now. kia's in towards Rose with the AK, or rather in towards Water, will get caught off by the timing of the push through the smoke from Alex.
Thankfully, at least, though, one kill came back in return from IEM, taking Wrinkle out of the round, and that was toward the A bomb site. They got up pretty fast toward A, actually. Have Bait Esports here. Bathrooms is completely taken, and of course that might actually be a good thing, because at the moment they've got some form of control, I guess you could say, in speech marks, toward both forms of the map. Short B and Bathroom as well in the T possession. But of course there's a nice little crossfire for GamerLegion to work with on the A bomb site, and that could be something that seals this game. Minute to play with. Bait are ready to burst.
The A bomb site, they come, rotations coming through from the CT side as well. The fact that Shui gets one is fantastic, takes the bait away from IEM.
Perfect.
And the finishing touches put onto the round by the captain as well. Job done by GamerLegion. They're able to get across the line on their map pick, and they show us why they brought Overpass to the table in such an important game.
Absolutely. Fully deserved, it has to be said, from GamerLegion. That recovery was fantastic, especially from 6-1 down in the first half, and now they're going to go on to map 2. One map away from Rio. What a story that could prove to be. We'll see if they can make it after a quick break.